This battle music is so fucking good. Hello. It's like it was always like this somehow. I don't know how to explain it. They remade it so perfectly that it just feels like it's cranking up the resolution on the original MIDI track. It even has the like pipe sounds, that bang, bong, bang, bong in the background. Hear that? Ba, ba. They captured all the layers and all the little details. So yeah, after I said that, like, I don't know if I have any of the new music, Craig had messaged me and was like, "You should have the remake vinyl." And it turned out I did, but I didn't find it before because the sleeve or whatever just had no spine labeling. The sleeve of it just looks like metal, and if you actually take it out and examine it, what it is like the outside of it is all Cloud's Buster Sword, so it just looks like machined, but it doesn't have any labeling whatsoever. It doesn't say Final Fantasy 7 or remake or nothing. It looks nice, but it's easy to overlook or not have any idea what it is. Like, the only reason I found it was because, number one, Craig had said I should have it. Number two, I carefully went through and was like picking through each vinyl, like, is it this one? Is it this one? Like the unlabeleds. Well, it does have a metallic finish, so when you tilt it around in the light and stuff, there's a cool looking sheen. So there's that. Craig, it truly is the all-knowing, but he would know because more than likely he's the one who sent me that vinyl. How do you deal with a warped vinyl? I haven't really, so I can't really provide much advice. If they're not warped too terribly, they play fine. You know, as long as the arm isn't doing like jumps off of ramps or something like that. Um, but if it's really wiling out, I don't know. I have wondered that though. Like, is there a way? Is there something you can do? Like, can you like maybe get them a little warm and then put something heavy on them to see, like, to flatten it out? And then will it stay that way if it cools down? Unwarp. Warped vinyl. Three ways to fix a warped vinyl. This is WikiHow, so no guarantees. It's looking though like this is basically a WikiHow of the assumptions that I just detailed. We're preparing to leave, so the dogs are fucking wiling out because they're ready to they want to go. But yeah, method 1, it says using 2 heavy objects. And then there's a bunch of diagrams showing you how to put a warped vinyl between 2 giant books. That's the funny thing with these diagrams. It shows 2 books, which look pretty normal to me. And it does say they need to be wide enough to cover the entirety of the record. But the record in the diagram, they just made it small to fit between the 2 drawings of books. But you need some big ass books. Yeah, no stream tonight. We're going to be out and about. And then I didn't get on early enough to really spend much time, like, streaming, so that's on me. But here I am for probably another 20 to 30 minutes or so. Place the warped record between the objects. And apparently you just leave it there for a while. Prepare to wait for a few days. This is perhaps the longest method you'll use. You're relying on constant gradual pressure to unwarp your record, and this will take some time. Prepare to wait for days, maybe even weeks, for the record to unwarp. And then so the next method is using heat and pressure. Oh, wild. Place the record between 2 sheets of glass. So if you have some sheets of glass that are bigger than LPs lying around, 2 of them, put your warped vinyl between the 2 sheets of glass. And then apparently set your preheat your oven to 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 79 degrees Celsius, and place the record inside. Make sure the glass is at room temperature before putting it in the oven, otherwise it might shatter. Use oven mitts to avoid possible burns. Yeah, I would hope so. But you put this shit in there for 3 minutes, and apparently that's enough. Keep a close eye on the record as it warms. If you notice any strange smells or noises, remove the record quickly. Blah, blah, blah. After you take it out, place a heavy object in the center of the glass pane over the record. This constant pressure combined with the heat is what will help repair the record. Leave the object on the glass pane until it cools. Once the glass has cooled, you can remove the record. Inspect the record carefully. If the record still shows significant warping, try repeating the above steps until it has been fixed. Otherwise, try placing it in a record player to see if you've been able to repair the damage. I have the old version of the $150 Audio-Technica turntable. It's like an AT-LP60 BK USB, I think, is the model. They don't make it anymore, but they have a similar new version of the same thing. Basically that same slice. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just don't get one of those fucking gimmick ass turntables. Like this is your bargain bottom turntable, right? You're gonna get fine audio quality. You're not gonna get a ton of options, but you can play your full size or your 7-inch vinyls just fine. Mine has line out. I assume the new ones do too. I think they probably all would, but just saying some like there's the gimmicky ones and they're bad. The audio quality is shit. Like the ones that are like only Bluetooth. Only Bluetooth is insane because Bluetooth is ass for audio quality. Unless something has dramatically changed that I don't know about. Bluetooth sucks shit for audio. So yeah, don't get those ones that are like in a little suitcase, or the ones where like the vinyl hangs off the side or whatever else. They're bad. I'm gonna flip the LP. Good. That worked out exactly as I hoped. It looks like Sephiroth is leaning into frame and going, "Hello." You dogs are way too amped up. And so then method 3, preventing record warp. We got bamboozled. Method 3 isn't a method for fixing warped records. This is just pure bullshit. This is preventative, not reparative. Store your records away from direct sunlight. Leaving them in sunlight or heat can cause warping. Keep the records away from windows and heating. You'll also want to make sure you don't leave your records in a vehicle on a hot day. Avoid stacking your records. Yeah, I mean, this is all good advice. Yeah, don't stack them. That's bad. Vinyls are quite heavy. They're so much heavier than you would expect. And you don't have to stack them very high before the weight of the records themselves becomes a serious threat to the physical integrity of the vinyls. So, yeah, don't ever stack your records. Don't bend your records. Yeah, I mean, like, I just think that the stacking one is a little less obvious. And then the last one is to keep them away from humidity. Blah, blah, blah. I hope this helped. Probably didn't help. It's not exactly easy. I've done stuff like the putting things between two heavier things to try and fix like bends in manuals or posters or things like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the degree of damage. You've got your final between two big books. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. I don't know what it is about my stuff or the way I keep my stuff or what, I don't know what it is, but for some reason I don't seem to ever have these problems without going out of my way to avoid them. I mean, I'm not so detached from it that I'm like doing crazy shit to my stuff and it's fine. But like, I'm also not going crazy to ensure things are fine, I guess. Not expressing that very well. Like the only warped vinyls that I have after all this time are ones that just came that way from the factory. It reminds me of disc rot with all the people on the internet that just like freaking out about disc rot. And I'm like, I have never met a rotted disc even the used ones that I bought, and so on and so forth. So the ones that I found at like Goodwills even and such, no disc rot. So it's weird. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm always happy to chat about this stuff. Vinyl is cool, but uh, it's a cumbersome thing to collect. Once it gets past a certain size, because vinyl gets heavy fast, like I was saying earlier. It's it's so much heavier than you think. When we moved, I bought these two essentially vinyl transport crates. You've probably seen these. Maybe they look a lot like like musical equipment chests or crates or whatever. And each of those held a good amount of vinyls. I really don't remember the number. I don't know if it was like 50 or 60 or maybe even more. Also, that varies a lot because of the packaging of the vinyls, right? Like some of them are like sets of four or something, so they're in like a box as opposed to just a sleeve. But anyway, you fill one of those up and it just becomes dark matter. Insanely heavy. Stupidly heavy. And the the vinyl collection I have now, 99% thanks to Craig, definitely exceeds those two crates that I got. They make bigger ones, but I can't imagine getting one bigger than the ones that I got. The ones that I got were like kind of cube shaped. They're kind of come in like Minecraft chest sizes. There's the singles and then the doubles. But man, one of the like wider ones completely full up, fucking forget it. I wouldn't be able to lift it, I don't think. Milk cartons. That's like the opposite of these containers that I'm talking about. Because the ones I'm talking about are the ones that have. How do I even explain it? They're the type of chest that has like carpeting on the outside. I don't know why they're like that. I imagine it's for style. Do you know what I mean? Why do they do that? Which I left those in an unfortunate location. That is to say, within reach of Pico, who has absolutely ruined the outside of them because he used them as a scratching post. So yeah, enjoy your vinyl journey, Colorado. I think it's pretty fun. And it's definitely one of those things similar to like collecting retro games where more than likely what you're actually getting enjoyment out of is the tactile experience because the actual content contained within is like so easy to get and it's so unnecessary to have it sprawled out in all this physical media. But on the other hand, we've kind of been we're starting to get to the point where it seems like maybe all this physical media wasn't such a dumb idea. With companies seeming to start to get more and more comfortable with the idea of just deleting your content that you own. I mean, honestly, with music, it's kind of completely gone already. I don't know. Are there still services where you can just buy MP3s? Like, does iTunes even still exist, or has iTunes been completely obliterated? I haven't even thought about that. You can still download it, apparently. For Windows. Huh. Really? You buy CDs? It's interesting. To be honest, most of the musical content that I consume is honestly just game music at this point, which you're not really gonna be finding CDs of. So does iTunes still? Does anybody even use it? I'm like so curious now because I hadn't even thought about it for so long until this moment. But I do remember, I got into iTunes pretty early on, and I had an iPod, and I remember what a revolution it was being able to just buy the individual songs that you wanted, and not having to buy entire albums and blah blah blah. Although they had their own special little format, so you didn't really get the MP3s, and therefore you, again, didn't really own that shit. I wonder if I could get my old library. Who knows? Well, I was just thinking about the fact that I think the majority of people now just use Spotify, right? But the thing with Spotify is that's entirely on the cloud. You don't ever interact with a file. So if something goes off of Spotify, it's just gone, and you don't have any rights to it or anything. And I think the transition is almost complete with like shows and movies too, right? I mean, they still sell, I assume, Blu-rays of stuff, but I don't know what the coverage is like. I would imagine the sales of that stuff has really crashed. Huh. So Amazon will actually give you the genuine MP3s. They're not rights protected somehow. Because I know that iTunes had like a special format you could not use without like some hacky shit to like extract the data or whatever. I mean, arguably, it's pretty fucking easy to steal music too. The worst fucking case scenario. I'm not saying this is a good way of doing it, but I mean, you could do it as easily as like fucking what, I don't know. You could use OBS. OBS is free, and you could I don't know, you could like screen record a video while you're playing a song, and then or yeah, Audacity's free. Audacity's probably easier. I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? Like you could do it in a super naive way. Oh yeah, could. I'm saying could a lot. I'm not saying do. Just hypothesizing over here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do exist. It's true. It's true. So, in the case of music, maybe there isn't quite so much urgency to hoard physical media. So I'm using the stream stick here, and I'm broadcasting from the mini PC on the stream stick to a local server, a local RTMP server that I set up. And it seems to just, at some point after a period of time, it will just drop out. And that's how it is. It is trying to go over Wi-Fi. Maybe it's struggling with the Wi-Fi. I am kind of out on the edge from where the router is. We probably need a new router because I don't know what Wi-Fi we're on. It might not be very good. No, I haven't played through Crisis Core. So any sort of connections to that story, I don't have them. I don't think that I probably really need them. Although I may want to, I want to probably do it before a reunion comes around. Like Final Fantasy VII reunion, not Crisis Core reunion. Oh, look, there it is. The video has returned. Welcome back, video. We missed you. I did do a little taste test of Crisis Core Reunion. And I had talked about that because I was surprised how much it seemed like the prototype for remake in terms of the user interface is very similar and the settings are very similar. It's on Unreal Engine, da 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 da. The gameplay seemed a little goofy to me, but not awful. I will say there's a horrific swing in the quality of the cinematics where you'll have stuff that's kind of like I don't know if they remade some of the videos or not. I feel like some of them look quite good, and then they'll have some in-game cinematic stuff, and then they'll have something that looks like it was made for the PSP. It's just like, wow, this is compressed. This is very compressed. Oh, I love how it stopped right where I started it. Hello. Hello, Sephiroth. It stopped so fucking perfectly. That's incredible. Oh, shit. Yeah. I mean, I genuinely want to replay Remake on PC really badly. But time, you know? Time. It just looks so damn good. It looks so fucking good. Ooh. Eventually, I will do this thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Um, I do wonder at what point it happens in the process. I would guess before they press the grooves, because if you were to do it after, there would be I don't know, it might interfere. It might, put like whatever the ink is into the grooves.
So I fucked up earlier. When I was taking my bag out, it tangled on their harnesses,
Yeah.
and they saw it. They've just been
Oh
going
yeah, I know.
fucking crazy ever since.
Yes, I'm aware.
Also, I think I got like 40 or 50 fish.
Nice.
So they're ready to go. Well, I have to saran wrap the top of it. I wanted to know if you wanted to check it out while it's still visible.
Yeah, sure. Should
It's
I just
impressive.
wrap up?
Yeah, because we should probably get going in the next 15, 20.
Okay. Would you mind dropping this off in the big trash? I will be right along. All right. But yeah, I don't know if the ink would like interfere with the grooves or whatever. I just imagine it would be easier to to put the image down first and then press the grooves. Picture discs are made by sandwiching a vinyl puck with printed labels and then adding layers of plastic laminate to each side, which the grooves are pressed into. Well, see, that's interesting. Yeah, people say they sound worse, but like that doesn't sound like it should matter. Or I guess maybe the fact that it's plastic laminate that's actually got the grooves as opposed to the vinyl itself. Maybe that's the problem. I don't think they sound worse. I mean, we were just listening to one and it sounds fine to me. It's probably some audiophile nonsense. Like if you want to talk about sounding bad, what seems to matter way more is what the mastering is of the audio that's being pressed into the disc. Like that one Accidentals album that we had where it sounded like fucking garbage, but it wasn't the disc. The disc was fine. I mean, they sent me fucking they sent me 3 of that album and they all sounded exactly the same. Like shit, you know? Like I'd have been better off just listening to the MP3s, which I did do for comparison to like just like is the album just mastered this way? But no, it's not. So what I don't know what happened with that album, but they just got like they used a source that was like fucked. And what's wild to me is that they didn't. I mean, the people that we were dealing with, Craig and I, were cool as hell. The Accidentals are cool as hell. So nothing against any of them, but something somewhere in the process got fucked there, and it's wild to me that nobody realized or checked. Like, wow, this doesn't sound good. So, yeah. So, I mean, I would guess that it's probably some audiophile bullshit with the. They just know that the process is different, and then they think it sounds different. Anywho's, I have to roll out. We have a fish delivery to make. So, thanks for hanging with me. Sorry for the brief stream. Um, yeah. I should have got on earlier so I could actually have streamed something other than just sitting here and yapping. But I was working on something. I was working on work. But it was one of those work things where I really got into what I was doing. I really got into it, and I got on this morning. I just wanted to do a little, make a couple of tweaks, and then 6 hours later, shit, I blew the day away doing little tweaks. But what are you gonna do? So depending on how tomorrow goes, maybe I'll hop on early to try to make up for it. Maybe we'll do some more rebirth leading into Sunday Gunday, something like that. Maybe we'll see. I keep looking over at this shot of Sephiroth saying hello and grinning. It's really doing a lot for me. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging. I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.